of a Wednesday night. Had Irvin Miller on an hour and a half ago. Pretty cool guy. And now we got Norman and the Smoke. We're going to find out who they are, everything about them, all the secrets. But before that, I'm just going to shout out School of Rock, the sponsor of April on the Peg City Soundoff. All of April, they have got their hands dirty in this one because this is the busiest month that I will have on this show since it started in September, which we just talked about before we went live. But let's get to the main act, Norman and the Smoke. Guys, take it away. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, I'll start because I'm Don Norman, and these guys down here are the Smoke. I don't know if that's going to be translated on everyone's screen, but we started doing this about a
2.5 years. Two and a half years.
We started jamming about 2.5 years ago. Our first show was got to be in May of last year or 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So we started. We mentioned this just before going live here too. We had played together in a band called Low Down in the Dirty Rotten, and we played our last gig on the Friday the 13th. Of March 2020, which was when everything shut down for COVID, and that was
closed the bar early.
Yeah, closed the bar early. Anyways, that was one of the last shows live shows that we could have for the next 2.5 years or whatever it was. So, anyways, that was that kind of put a kibosh. Everyone went their own ways during COVID on that band, and we had this. But this, as the show started to come back, we had this gig line. There was Low Down and Dirty Rotten was supposed to play a gig. I'm sorry, guys. You guys
know Days and Days, Bridge City Sinners, and us and Steelhead were supposed to play a gig during COVID that got canceled, and I was the one that basically told the guy at Bulldog that she should really bring this band in. So she was kind enough to give me a call, knowing my band had broke up, and say, "Hey, I really want you on this show. Or do you have anything going?" So then I phoned. Pat lives here, so I know he's good. So I didn't have to ask him. So I picked up the phone, called Don, and I said, "Don, can we put together a show in a month and play Bridge City Sinners?" And he's like, "I'm in." So in a month, we basically put together a set, and off we went.
The rest is history.
Yeah, I was the rhythm guitar player, and Travis was the bass player, and Pat was the drummer, right? So we were the rhythm section of that band. The singer and the other various players, there was like half a dozen people in that band. Are all doing their own thing now. And so we played this show. It was supposed to be a one-off, but we were just clicking, and so we've just kept going. We've made some recordings, and I think we got a good thing going here.
Well, nobody knew who we were, so everybody assumed we were a touring band. And then when we played the show, hey, you guys got to play a show with us. So it just sort of snowballed into doing more shows, and that turned into a tour, and
then now we are a touring band.
Now we're a touring band.
Yeah, that's some cool news. You got, I guess the kickoff for the tour May 9th at Bulldog.
Yeah,
and then you kind of take it from there. You go west and Alberta, BC. Are you stopping in Saskatchewan too? Or
Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, and then repeat on the way back, different cities though.
Yeah. I see like Chilliwack in there, and cool.
Yeah.
How
about all the big centers, some smaller play Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. We're playing. We're playing Saskatoon. We didn't manage to find a gig in Regina, but we're getting Calgary, Vancouver, Chilliwack, as you said, Kelowna. And then Edmonton, Saskatoon on the way back. I said Calgary, didn't I?
I don't think you did. Well, I think you missed Calgary, Don.
I'm disappointed in myself.
It's all right.
I'm pretty sure if we look back on this, I said Calgary though, Pat.
Fun fact. Our last tour, we had one complaint on the whole tour, one noise complaint.
And it was from Don.
It was from Don. We were partying in the hotel room and he opened the door and gave us shit and told us to keep it down.
I am the resident old guy in the band.
Wow.
Just in case you couldn't tell by the beard.
It's got a couple.
I hear you. I think I am too in mine. So
yeah.
let's talk about touring a little bit because there's been a lot of bands that have come on the show, and there's been some that have done the West Coast tours, and I just had one on Saturday night who's just about to embark on a West Coast tour. Kind of run me through what goes on in lining up a tour out west, and
we hire somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you do?
Well, we took a different approach this time.
Pat used to do everything.
We hired a tour manager out of Calgary, a guy named Matt McDonald. He runs Rampant Slime Productions. He books tours for bands and stuff like that. So I worked with Matt, and we came up with a game plan. And he pretty much took care of everything for me. I figured the smarter plan would be to work with somebody that's actually out there. He set up all our shows, all the opening bands, basically everything for me. It was fantastic.
Awesome. Tell me about life on the road. What's life on the road like going on a tour?
I'm gonna come clean here.
We're called the smoke for a reason.
Pat has toured a bit before, but this is actually we did a small tour last summer to northwestern Ontario, and this is really the first big tour that I've been on in my life. I've been playing rock and roll for a long time, but I've been mostly a homebody guy. So this is a big thing for me, quite honestly.
The last summer was pretty well a test run to see how long.
Well, we also before our last tour, our van broke down a few weeks before, so we ended up renting like a 35, 40 foot.
Yeah, I have a buddy who owns Epic RV Rentals, and my Volkswagen bus went down. That's usually what we would tour with or take to shows. I strung Pat along here that I was going to put a hitch on my car and didn't tell him that I rented a motorhome. Till the day before we left at the end of practice, I just kept telling him, he's like, there's a hitch on your car. No, I haven't got around to it. I'll get to it. And then finally, he was so stressed out. He looked like he was ready to cave. So I said, Pat, just so you know, I rented a 40-foot RV and hired a driver.
I mean,
so we got back and we decided we can't tour any other way. So within a few weeks, we went and bought our own bus. We have a driver. We're not slumming it on these tours. We're trying to make it as comfortable as possible so that we can.
Yeah, we each got a double bed. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're not young fellers cramming in the van anymore, man.
No.
No, we got
go ahead.
Shower, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
That's good. So your tour manager, he would just line up the other bands play with you. I'm assuming you're just picking up local bands in the cities.
Local bands, and then when we get out to BC, we hooked up with some friends of ours that are going to do all the BC gigs with us. So that's going to be fun. And to tag along for multiple shows. So
yeah.
Awesome.
And they're good friends that when they come through town, they actually stay here and what have you, stay at the house. So they're close guys that we're close to. So it's going to make that stretch of the fun real fun.
Oh yeah, for sure, right? Kind of common ground, right? So that's awesome. So we talk about the tour, and you can't tour without music, right? So let's kind of slide into the music here. Did you release two songs last year?
Yeah, one was before the first tour, and then we released the other one. When was that? Over the winter, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've got more possible singles coming out. We're hoping to get some stuff out right before we leave for this next tour, but
depends if somebody can go do bass tracks.
Yeah, it depends if somebody goes bass tracks or not.
It really depends,
Do you guys do you just record at home? Do you go to studios, or that's the beauty of it now, right? Is you can record anywhere.
Currently, we did just buy all the equipment to actually adapt the space we have here to start recording. We'll be able to do 16 lines live.
Wow.
So
very nice.
Yeah, with preamps on each line, so we'll be able to record our entire set. Every practice we ever play, we're going to start recording.
Yeah, and it's we kind of have a DIY ethic, I guess, right? We've done things and we wanted to have a sound with our recordings that sounded like us live. And we're a 3-piece band. It's pretty stripped down. And I think we really sort of capture it. We really did record this mostly live off the floor. We did do some overdubbing too, but it was a pretty raw, very little, yeah. And so
vocals and
we're a live band for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
All energy.
Yeah,
The workout.
Yeah. So
It's
we
awesome.
expect to have a couple more songs to go on tour with. I think two more. So we're keeping plugging away. We have lots of tunes, and we will keep releasing. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. And before you kind of talked about recording different places and whatnot, it's the beauty of the world today is if you have the equipment, you can do it, right? And you don't have to go buy the big mixers and everything. Like everything is just so compact these days too. You can do so much with so little, really, right?
Absolutely.
And you hear it all the time. You hear bands on tour recording, like I forget what band it was. There was a band that actually did an entire album on their bus while they were touring, and they just cut this whole album on the bus
He
with.
did one of his entire albums on a Zoom.
Yeah,
Wow.
isn't it nuts?
An R16. It's crazy, man.
It's unreal. That's cool though. I'm looking forward to hearing some more stuff. I kind of ran through your stuff the last couple of days. I use Spotify. It is what it is. There's some people who won't go there, but I go there because it's easy and
We all do. It's
So simple to get new music right away.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
too bad it's so hard to get paid.
And that's the thing, right? You watch for your song to hit 1,000 views to get your 5 cents or whatever it is that
you
comes
watch
through.
Spotify get rich while we make 5 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
You used to be able to make a decent amount of money, like not a living necessarily for a small band, but you could make good money selling CDs off the side of the stage, right? I mean, it would really, I don't want to say good money. It would supplement the what you're getting for the gig, right? It would be nice. Now it's nothing. Like if you have CDs, I don't know, people don't want them. That like who has a CD player anymore? Even like it's.
Yeah.
So it's hard to make money selling music. So that's the other thing too, right? Going into the studio, I don't have a problem with the idea of going into the studio, but the return on investment is just not there, right? You just don't get it. So if it's about promoting us as a band and we're a live band, then we'll put out live music, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, for sure, right? That's exactly it. You mentioned who has a CD player. Earlier today, I was at an EP release last Saturday, and I bought a physical CD, and it felt so cool to support a local band and by buying a CD, right? And anyone who really knows me knows that I was driving a newer vehicle and I downgraded because I drive 2 kilometers a day. And I got a vehicle with a 6 CD changer. So today I felt so cool throwing the CD in the changer. I took I think it was a Headstone CD came out, but I threw in a local band, and I thought, you know what, that's kind of what we preach on the show about supporting local, and you're right, it's hard to make money doing that, right? So CDs, there's I'm trying to start my own collection of local CDs. So if you do put some on CD, I will definitely be there. There's a Stodius copy, but
I know
I got a bunch of locals.
we'll probably do some small runs of CDs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like you can get a few printed and but it's certainly not going to do like I used to do 500 with bands, because that was sort of like the smallest amount you could get. And even with that, like a few years ago, you'd end up with boxes full of CDs, even with that much, so I mean,
exactly right. And there's a band that I had on a few weeks ago, and they're doing vinyl, and I thought that's brave. Vinyl's doing good. Vinyl's making a good comeback, but the investment on vinyl, you got to make sure you're selling those, and they will. But Yeah, it's just speaking of physical forms, how about this one too? The Northern Royals released a cassette tape of their last one.
Yeah, that's coming
Yeah.
back too, man.
Unbelievable. I
Yeah,
thought, holy
I
crap, dude.
want to. I do want to put out vinyl. There's a couple of songs I did. Actually, one of them is the name of the tour. It's called Dirty Money. Another one's called Vegas Lou, and they're kind of connected. In fact, they're totally connected. It's a story that flows between both songs. I'd love to have them both on a 45 on an A and B side of the 45. So that's kind of one of the goals, and we've got those recorded, and so I think that might be something we do. From what I understand, there's still a long wait period to get vinyl made. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but that last time I looked into it, it was a long wait period. So, not saying when it's happening, but probably sometime soon you'll be able to pick up some vinyl from our merch table.
That is super cool too. I find with your to kind of take it to this angle here, I think with your style of music, I think the vinyl is just something that you almost have to do. You look at your merch; it's kind of behind you there too, right? And you seem like a band that needs to have vinyl that people would spin a vinyl of Norman and the Smoke, right?
I think so too.
That's pretty true. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a retro quality to what we're doing. So
yeah, and I like it, and which kind of gets me to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is you're doing something a little bit different. The sound is a little bit different than what a lot of bands are doing right now. Where does this sound come from? Is this something you've always been into? Or what are some influences you guys are drawing from?
well, first of all, I want to say like the Lowdown on the Dirty Rotten were an outlaw country band, right? And so they had a sort of a punky country kind of thing, and it's we've taken it in a different direction, but it's kind of in the same ilk.
It's still
We're same
underlying in there.
same
Hmm.
genre, I'd say, right? And for me, right, and I've written most of the songs. Hey, Ruth, let's see the name.
Hey, Ruth, yeah.
Uh,
Realize those are comments coming up that people are making. I thought
Yeah.
it was commenting on my Facebook because we're on my computer.
No, these are live comments. People watching and
I didn't
commenting.
realize.
And-
I only
Sorry, I should have
realized
told you before. There's a cool chat thing that
that.
comes
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that's good to know, man. Good to know.
So I was saying I write the songs for the most part, and I used to be in another band actually called Black River Drifters. It was another COVID casualty band, basically. And I was doing that band simultaneously when I was with Lowdown on the Dirty Ron, and that was sort of my main original project because it was we put out 2 albums, right? So that stuff was roots rock, like a little bit more. There was a little bit less energy, and I don't want to say it was still energetic music, but it was a little bit more in that kind of roots rock kind of Americana genre, right?
Mhm.
This I've always, and this is when we got together. Like my musical taste going back to when I was, the music that I bought when I was a kid is like punk rock, right? So to me to bring those songs, and we do several of those songs from Black River Drifters, to do those songs with this energy is something different and a little bit sort of I don't know. I think that's what you're talking about, though, that it's a little bit different and it's almost like hard to describe exactly what we're going for. But so it's an organic thing. I can't really say that this was
I can't say that something shaped our sound. It was
not really, but I mean,
Just gotta happen.
obviously it did. And I'm trying to explain the various things that led into it. But in terms of songwriters, for me, like I love storytellers, right? So like old cowboy music, like Marty Robbins, Marty Robbins, cowboy songs and that kind of stuff are really amazing in terms of the storytelling. And that's what I really try to get across, right? The music itself, I like energetic music, and I kind of like a little bit old country, and I kind of like it, so it's all kind of in there, and we're all sort of contributing to the music in a lot of ways. So I don't know. It's a bit of when we decided, when we got that gig, when we were first practicing in a band, we didn't know what this was going to be. At first I was playing an acoustic guitar and we were trying to sort of figure out a sound, and it just wasn't working. And we tried all these, and this is what sort of organically evolved from it. That'd be the way.
Found Donnie a Rickenbacker. He plugged that into my amp, and it was like we found our sound, man.
Nice.
I think that guitar changed a lot for us.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
And I will honestly, I'll say that when Donnie was playing with Black River Drifters, I was a massive fan to that band. And I always like looked on with envy, like, man, I would love to be playing those songs with Donnie. So one day when he just came over and we started playing the tunes, it was I was honored to be a part of it.
Oh, thanks, man.
that's super cool. Rickenbacker, you still playing the Rick?
Yeah.
Rickenbacker changed a lot of lives.
Yeah, I got one.
Whether
too.
it's 6-string or for me, it was a 12-string. That I always talk about my musical awakening that happened like 5-6 years ago. I fell deep into the Laurel Canyon 60s sound, which was the 12-string Rick, and unfortunately, this is the first year now I won't be going to LA, but I've spent so much time down there. We go every year, and I keep going to Laurel Canyon and just grab a coffee at the Canyon store, and you look back on it, and it's like, what was I drawn to? And it was the 12-string Rickenbacker. So yeah, Rickenbacker's changed lives. We're gonna make it a hashtag. Rickenbackers change lives. We'll see how quick that catches on. I'm gonna throw some attention to Ruth here for a second, because Ruth was the one who actually told me about you guys in the first place.
She's a fan.
Yeah, she's such a local supporter of so much stuff, and I used to talk about Ruth on here quite a bit with how much she did for supporting people, and then I stopped because I think I embarrassed her, but I'm gonna do it again today. So anyway, Ruth was the first one. I remember she went and saw you. I believe you were at the Tap House, and she went and saw you there, and she told me about you, and unfortunately I couldn't make it out that night, but she's a big fan of you. She loves your Johnny Cash cover. Which song are you doing from Cash?
I think we were doing Folsom for a while there.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, but we do quite a bit of a different.
Doesn't sound like Johnny though.
It doesn't sound. We do make it our own. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Travis, that's the one song that Travis sings too.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
So
There's definitely video of that song on our Instagram.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Pat, I'm gonna throw a thing at you here, just kind of in talking about Norman and the Smoke and this unique sound that you get. You know, you play in another band, you play in the Soundoff as well, which is it's different, completely different, right? How do you find going from one genre to, well, I don't really want to call it genre because I don't know what to call you guys yet. I think everyone's still confused.
We don't know.
That's good though.
Rock, and we've kind of got that rockabilly, so we kind of put it together, and we can't shake the rockabilly because of the upright bass. So
Everybody calls us rockabilly, but
we say rockabilly, we say punkabilly, whatever, you know. But
Punkabilly. That's
first time I
that's good.
with Pat. So you're asking him about the transition between the two musics.
Yeah.
First, our last band ever played with Pat, we tried out so many drummers, and it's amazing how many crazy drummers can't get the concept of just a simple train beat.
Yeah.
And we played like 2 songs with him, and then we went outside for a little break, and I just looked at him. I said, "Hey man, just think like Hank Williams III meets Johnny Cash." And then we went in, and he sat down, and he was like our drummer.
Cool.
Like it was crazy. It was like he just, okay, yeah, I can do this, and then yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, like anyways, as to your question, I grew up playing a lot of like the 90s punk rock stuff, sort of, which is closer to the Soundoff sound. I've been doing this punkabilly outlaw country thing for the last few years with these guys, and I found when I first started playing with Travis and Lowdown, it was totally different than anything I had done, but I was able to take that stuff and go back to other bands, and I just found that every time I play with somebody new, I can just add to the repertoire, right? So the Soundoff isn't a departure from what I grew up with, but I'm able to take that and bring stuff into this band and take stuff from this band and go into that band. So it's just, you mesh it, right? Basically, that's all it is.
Awesome. Good answer. You guys got merch behind you.
We do. Cool. We have lots of
pretty
merch.
Cool stuff. let's talk about merch because this isn't just a single T-shirt and a sticker. What do you guys got for merch?
We've got 3 different T-shirts. Well, 2 T-shirts, baseball sleeve shirt. We have genuine Dickies jackets that are very pricey, but
we do our pins. We have multiple versions of those. We've got coffee mugs. We've got
patches,
stickers, jackets, shirts.
We're probably going to do a limited edition tour shirt as well before we leave. Possibly available at our tour kickoff May 9th with Ray Gun Cowboys at Bulldogs.
And shout out to the art. I love the art on that. Trav, who was the guy who did that?
Boris is an old friend of mine. He has Productions. He's designed all of our logos and our posters for the band since we've started. So he's responsible for all of our graphic design, all of our merch. He's a heck of a guy. Does fantastic work.
Yeah, I think we've
just hot rodder, so he really knows what we want.
We've surrounded ourselves with people that kind of know us and do little things for us.
Yeah, like the car that he designed it after was a car I was building like basically last year.
Cool.
Hey, bring a T-shirt up so you can see, because that's a nice logo he did too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the second I saw that logo, I was like, "That's our logo now." It's not even
for sure. Have you guys ever played? In Brandon before?
No,
not yet.
No? We talked about it, but we've never actually made it out there.
I think you guys do good. Brandon, Eastside Eatery. I think you guys do fantastic. Yeah, Eastside Eatery. It's my group played out there in February, and it's super cool place. Great food, nice little venue. But I think you guys do really good out there.
We'll check it out.
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought of it. Just thought, you guys should play Brandon sometime.
Yeah, it was one of the options on our tour. Like when we couldn't land something in Regina, like Brandon was one option, but we ended up doing our first date in Prince Albert. But we'll get back to Brandon. Brandon's close. We'll be reaching out. We want to play. You know what? I love playing in small towns, right? And Brandon's not a small town. Like Brandon's a small city, right?
Yeah.
But it's you do get but even really small towns are super fun to play because people are starved for entertainment and they'll come out and they'll support you, right? So I love getting out and playing around.
You'll get one, Ruth.
Tour shirt. Yeah, there you go, Ruth. Gonna ask you. I always ask a random question, and this is something that came up a couple hours ago. Someone mentioned this a person, and they just said they're a musical genius. Do you guys have any musical geniuses in your life, like someone that you grew up listening to, and you're like, that guy's a musical genius? That's a hard question because you probably did not expect anything even close to that. There you go.
The bass player Les Claypool would be up there. Jimbo is up there. A guy that helps me along the way, tells me a few things I don't know about my bass and things, helps me, guides me, would be Colin Irving. Basically from the Brains or what's his other band now? I can't even think. But he's been a real help. Like I'll post a picture of my bass and he'll be like, "Hey, that bridge you bought, it looks like it's wrong," and he'll coach me through fixing it. So guys like that are just a wealth of knowledge, man. Guys, like I always wanted I've only played upright for a few years, man. I wanted one of these things my whole life, but where do you put it? Right?
How do you haul it?
And how do you learn? Like, there's nobody here to teach you. So you just, you get one and you start thumping on it and figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
In terms of musical, what I'm going to come back to all the time is songwriters too, right? There are a bunch of songwriters that really kind of like Jason Isbell. He was in the Drive-By Truckers. I love the Drive-By Truckers too. I mean, so I think his songwriting is just amazing. His turns of phrases and the way he sings and the emotion that he puts in the song is really special. but going back to my youth and my roots, I was a huge Clash fan, so I love Joe Strummer.
Mhm.
It's kind of all over the map for me, really. I mean, I love music, so I tend to seek out musical genius, I guess, right? So
Brian Ritchie from the Violent Femmes would be another one.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, Brian Ritchie's a savage bass player on an acoustic.
Excellent. Pat, who do you got?
Oh well, I'm a Foo Fighter guy, so I'm a Dave Grohl guy through and through.
Yeah.
I think what he's done through music throughout his career is pretty amazing. He does things the way he wants to do it. They keep reinventing themselves, and for the most part, he's been able to keep out of the spotlight with personal things, but
Yeah, shit happens.
I mean,
happens. That's somebody, and I mean, obviously, the late Taylor Hawkins was one of my favorite drummers of all time,
Mhm.
for sure. And just listening to how they play, and you see documentaries and their thought processes and stuff when they're doing tracks and stuff like that. It's you learn so much just from listening and just watching those guys. It's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Saints and Rogues, another cool local band. They just chimed in there.
Yeah, we love those guys.
Yeah, we played with them a
Played
bunch,
with those
so.
guys. Those guys are
Great
always
guys.
out supporting us. So
Mhm.
shout out to those guys, Saints and Rogues.
100%.
What are they
Absolutely.
called, Donnie?
What's their name, Don?
Saints and Rogues. I got it
You
down.
buddy. You got it.
We played the first like 3 times we played with them. I was like the Rogues and Saints, or the Saints and Sinners, or I always had.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it, and I felt terrible because I love the guys, right? And I was just like, I don't know. Anyways, I got it now. I'll never
There
mistake
you go.
it.
They just did a cool thing last weekend. Played the matinee show at Side Stage. I thought that was
I love
pretty.
that. I
That was
love
pretty
that
cool.
venue, man. We've yet to play there, but I really like that venue.
That is
I love the idea of a
top
matinee,
tier.
right?
Yeah.
My near senior age kind of makes me like those early nights.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be playing. We're playing them on Saturday at Tap House, and I believe we're going on last, aren't we, guys?
We are. Yeah, we're at.
So we're gonna be on at 12:30, probably midnight to 12:30, right? I mean,
Some of
like,
those shows
gosh,
we've
that's
been,
gonna be a late night, right?
Yep. And you know what? I love Side Stage. Like
yeah, it's cool, man.
played there once, playing there again coming up. I love that venue, but I love the Tap House.
Tap House is
I'm not just saying that because every time I go there, the owner comes and shakes my hand, and we have a great time. But anyway,
we are so welcomed at Tap House, man. I can't say
it's
enough
so
good things
good.
about that venue, man.
It is.
So
I'm going to
good.
say some good things. I'll say some good things about it too, because it's got an amazing layout. It's got great. Brett, is this Brett or
Yeah.
Brent, the sound guy?
Right, incredible sound.
He's an incredible sound guy, and the room has excellent sight lines. People can see the band. There's a great dance floor. It when they open up those doors to the street in the summertime, it is the coolest place to be. Right? It's
100%.
very, very cool.
100%.
And then with club happenings downstairs, it gets this kind of like
Elbow
kind of like it's so bohemian and cool. Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Yeah, they had the doors open on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Incredible.
I'm gonna duck out and get a charger. I'll be right back.
Yeah. They had the doors open Saturday. The stage, I don't know if you've been there. They did redo the stage.
Yeah,
we played there.
Oh, did you? Okay.
We played there on the new stage for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was there Saturday, but I was there only like 2 weeks ago, and I swear it was still the black stage, and now it's brown, and they added a foot or something.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. I think we played on it. Like we played on it within the last couple of months, right? We played.
Yeah, we were there not long ago. Yeah.
It's so good, and the new screens are cool, and
that's cool too. Yeah.
No, you know what? They do it right there.
They do.
I love that place.
Riley's really, really good at getting bands and what have you. He's
very
good.
Very good. Very good. That's a nice stand-up bass, actually. Now I'm looking at it there. Not that I know anything about stand-up basses, but the 2 other people I know that play stand-up bass would probably say that's a nice stand-up bass.
Well, this was actually my original. This was a plywood bass.
Okay.
And I'm a painter. So
yeah.
I basically painted it in the garage here. Yeah, just tip
Oh
it.
my God.
This one doesn't even get played anymore. Really, because the other one is so much nicer.
Cool.
The sound of the other is incredible because it's actually a full size, so it's
Yep.
a lot bassier, a lot boomier. Get way better tone out of it.
Cool.
And I don't have to bend over as much.
Yeah. Exactly.
Easier on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's Emily Anna. Hi, Emily. Thank you for always liking and sharing and commenting, and Emily's great.
Yes.
So we talked about the tour. We've talked about the music. We've talked about the merch. We've talked about what drives Norman and the Smoke. So in typical fashion, I'm gonna give you the mic to give us a demo of the bass. I'm gonna give you guys the mic to say what you want to say. Your family, what's going on with Norman and Smoke? What's next after the tour, of course.
Well,
Studio time, probably.
we should probably plug the shows we
Yeah.
have before the tour. We're playing this Saturday at the Tap House with Sins of Four and Spectre.
Cool.
That's going to be a big show. And then in a couple of weeks, we are at Handsome Daughter with our very, very, very good friends, the Great Steelhead, in support of them. And then, of course, the week after that, May 9th, is our tour kickoff with Ray Gun Cowboys, Rockabilly Legends from Calgary. Actually, I just read today this is probably one of their last
30 years.
tours.
Yeah.
They're done after this one. So, yeah, come check it out. That's all our stuff before, and then of course we go for tour, and then festival season comes. And,
Yeah, we do Chug Fest every year, and we usually
Cool.
do a few.
we'll probably head back to Ontario in August for a short tour again. Yeah, lots of stuff on the go.
Awesome.
And who knows? Maybe one day soon we may plan our own festival.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll be
I don't know, Don.
hitting the studio pretty soon, and I think we're going to be doing some videos too coming up soon. We got
yes.
some, and like I said, there's the idea of that vinyl single that we're going to be putting out too, and I think that there's going to be sort of a connection between a lot of that, right? Because we're going to record one of those songs, both of those songs for that 45, and I think we're going to make a video for one of them songs on there, and so that's an exciting kind of project that we're kind of looking forward to, I think, too. And I don't want to put any firm dates on it yet because I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we're going to try to get things together. A lot of people volunteering their time for these kind of projects, right? So you gotta be able to find the time.
Yeah, that's the battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, gentlemen. Well, it was a great chat. We've almost hit the 40-minute mark, which is it's always impressive. That just means that things are going good. Yeah, looking forward to hearing more, and we'll catch up at one of your shows or after your tour. I'd love to hear about the tour when you're done. Sounds like it's gonna be a great time, especially when you hit those far west coast dates with your buddies out there. Super cool.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That'll be a fun time.
Well, we're gonna keep
lots more stories to tell.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. What were you saying, Pat?
We're gonna keep everyone posted on Instagram, so you just check out our Instagram and follow along with us, and you can maybe feel like you're on the road with us. Maybe.
All right.
Live vicariously through us.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's right.
Good stuff.
We're just gonna film Dawn sleeping all the time.
It's gonna get so many clicks.
Yeah, it'd be Norman and the Smoke after hours, right? That's great.
After
Right on, gentlemen. All right. You have a good night.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Thanks for supporting
Awesome.
music in this time.
Yeah, thanks for coming
Well,
on.
thanks for having us, Joel.
Enjoy your Wednesday night.
Okay.
You bet.